So in today's What's for Dinner video, I have 3 really easy and yummy casserole recipes for you. I think you're really gonna like these. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Amanda. So in today's video, I've got some really easy and yummy casserole recipes for you. We're also going to be making a pineapple banana bread that was so very good. This video is also really special because it's in collaboration with my friend Casey over at Life with Casey. I'll have her channel linked below in the description box and her video as well. She does what's for dinner, grocery hauls, all kinds of fun stuff. So I know you'll want to check her out. And if you're coming over from Casey's channel, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. I do all kinds of food content. What's for dinners, it's all about the food here. So if that sounds like something you might like, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. And go ahead and turn on that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. I've always, I'm trying to work on planning lots of yummy things for y'all, so I think you're really not going to want to miss any of those. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you're excited to see these recipes, but let's go ahead and get into the video. First up, we're going to get started on our chicken casserole. And y'all, I just love this one so much. It reminds me of a dish that I've had at Cracker Barrel that has like broccoli, cheddar chicken or something like that. I think is what it's called. It's so good. So we've just got some sour cream going in there and some cream of chicken soup. I always use the healthier Quest. It's a little bit healthier than the regular one, lower in sodium and all that stuff. So that's the one I use. I've also got some shredded cheese going in there. I just use sharp cheddar. You could really use whatever you want, but personally I think sharp cheddar actually tastes the best, I feel like, in this, because you really get that cheese flavor through it. And then we're going to add in our chicken. You just want to use any kind of, rotisserie chicken, just any kind of cooked chicken you have on hand. This was from my freezer. I use about 3 cups. I go between using 2 to 3 cups. Just kind of depends on, what I have on hand and everything. So if you have less, you can make do with that too. Once that's all mixed together, we're just going to place that in our baking dish. And I just use like a square baking dish. If you wanted to double this recipe, it should fill a 9 by 13 pan. But this is always plenty for us because I feel like it's pretty rich, and we serve it with rice and broccoli, and I feel like that's pretty filling. So I've just crushed my Ritz crackers in the bag. That's kind of handy so I don't have to put it in a Ziploc bag or make a mess anywhere else. And I'm just going to add those crackers to that melted butter, and we're just going to kind of toss those around. I'm also going to add in a little parsley. That was new, but I thought it would give it like a little pop of color. I've been using parsley a little more lately like that because I do feel like it makes things a little more colorful. So I've got that all good and mixed together. Now I use the low sodium Ritz crackers to try to help out on salt here, and that really works well for us. We're just going to put that on top there. That's going to be our nice crunchy topping. And y'all, to me, that's like my favorite part, is that, buttery Ritz cracker topping combined with the creaminess of the chicken inside. And then, of course, like I said, I love to serve it with rice and broccoli. I do steamed broccoli. And I just feel like it's one of my most favorite comfort meals. But we're going to put that in the oven at 350 degrees and bake it for about 30 minutes, or just until it's nice and bubbly and a little browned on top. You can see it looks all nice and toasty and yummy. And like I said, this is such a good meal. It's a great way to use up leftover cooked chicken. I really enjoy finding ways to turn leftovers into something new and different, and this is a great way for that. Like I said, it would also be a great way to use a rotisserie chicken and all that. So there's lots of easy ways to make this, and this is such a simple dinner, but yet it is so tasty. It really is comfort food. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite casserole is. I just think this time of year, casseroles are just nice and comforting. It starts getting cold outside, and it's just something delicious to have. But here it is, all plated up. This is just so good, y'all. I highly recommend you make it. We really enjoy it. It's definitely a favorite of mine. So next up, we have pizza casserole. And this was a brand new recipe. We'd never tried it before, so I always love trying new things. I've just got some ground beef that I had frozen in the freezer. I've told y'all before, I bulk cook ground beef and keep it in the freezer, and it's so handy for things like this. Now this is a pizza casserole, so basically you can kind of put whatever you want in it. I'll have the recipe link below, but all your favorite pizza toppings would be great here. I've got pepperoni, green peppers, onions, mushrooms. I've got some Parmesan cheese, some black olives, Any of that is optional. You know, if you don't like something, take it out and that type of thing. And then we're also adding in some minced garlic as well as some oregano. Now, I did reserve a few black olives and pepperonis to top the casserole with. The recipe didn't say to do that, but I thought, you know, this is a pizza casserole, so I want to make it look like a pizza. So I saved those to the side to do that. Now we've got some cooked rotini that I have here and some spaghetti sauce, and you could use whatever sauce that you like. It's just a 24-ounce jar is what you need. And then we're just going to stir all that together. This is super, super simple, y'all. It's so easy. And basically you're just going to put that in your baking dish. And then we're going to top it. It said to top it with 1 to 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. I didn't really measure. I just kind of coated it with what I felt like was enough. It probably was closer to 1.5 to 2 cups, somewhere in that area. And then I'm going to top it with that pepperoni and the black olives. And you could even, you know, put some green peppers on the top, onions, you know, whatever you'd like to on the top to kind of, like I said, make it look like a pizza. To me, I wanted it to have that, you know, look to it like it was a pizza. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I didn't have real high hopes for this. I thought, oh, the kids will probably love this, but I'm not sure if I'll really, you know, like this that much. You know, I wasn't real sure. But this had so much flavor to it. Like, and of course, obviously, it's going to also depend on what pizza sauce or spaghetti sauce you use. But it really did, like when you get that bites of black olive, the bites of green pepper, all that, it really did taste like a pizza. And so I really enjoyed this. This would be perfect to serve alongside like a side salad or anything like that. So I really recommend this recipe. It could not have been any easier, especially with that pre-cooked ground beef. Y'all, I suggest you do that if you don't already. It's so handy to have that in the freezer and then throw stuff like this together. Now, next up, we have the chicken hash brown casserole. And I've made this before, but my kids have been begging me for it ever since. And so I was like, okay, I'm doing a casserole kind of theme. You know, I'll go ahead and make this one too, because it really is so good. We've just got some sour cream going in there, some pepper, some cream of chicken soup, some shredded cheese. Again, I use that Healthy Request cream of chicken soup. And then our shredded chicken, you could use diced chicken. Again, this is perfect for leftover chicken. I just love, you know, being able to pull stuff out of my freezer and toss this in here or use leftovers from the night before or whatever. And then we're going to put in a whole bag of hash browns. Now, you're going to want to let these thaw on the counter for maybe an hour or in the refrigerator for a little bit, something like that, because they're so much easier to kind of stir together if they're thawed. You can also pop them in the microwave for just a little bit and get them thawed out too. So whatever works best for you is fine, but that you definitely want them to be kind of thawed a little so they stir up everything really well. Now, if you've ever had hash brown casserole, this is pretty much the same thing. And I'll have this recipe linked below. But it is basically like, you know, the hash brown casserole, but then they add the chicken into it. And then also we're going to do a cornflake topping. And y'all, again, I just love that crunch of that topping. It's really good. We've just got some cornflakes there and some melted butter, and you're just going to stir that together. And, you know, go ahead and get that combined. And then you're going to top that casserole with it. And it's just that nice little crunch that makes such a difference. Like, we used to, you know, make hash brown casserole just by itself, and now that we've made this, like, we haven't made hash brown casserole by itself anymore. We've just done this because it's so good, and we all really love that crunchy topping. And now this just goes in a 400-degree oven, and it bakes for about an hour, and then you're ready to, you know, serve it up. And if you've had the hash brown casserole, like I think a lot of times it's the Copycat Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole, that type of thing. If you've had that and like that, I bet you anything you will really love this, because like I said, the addition of that cornflakes, you know, the chicken makes it more hearty. It's so good. And we just served this with some green beans. And this was just so easy. This is also one that you could, you know, prepare ahead of time. I wouldn't put the cornflakes on. I'd put that on the last minute and then pull it out and bake it, and you'd be good to go. So it's always nice to prep things ahead. So now we've got some pineapple banana bread. I have been wanting to make this for a little while, and I wanted to share it with y'all because it was so good. I love pineapple anyways in different things, but I just whisked together some flour, baking powder, baking soda, and just a little bit of salt there. And now in this bowl, we've got some oil, a little bit of vanilla. We're going to also add in our sugar and our eggs and mix that together really well. And then we'll stir in our banana and our pineapple. Now the recipe also said you could use like coconut in it if you want to. I guess that would make it kind of like a tropical thing. You could even add like some nuts if you wanted to it. I just really wanted just the pineapple in there, so I didn't add any additional things to it, but you could definitely play around with this recipe and kind of add things you like to it and make it a little more different there. I bet macadamia nuts would be good too, like put all that kind of tropical feel to it. Macadamia nuts would probably be really good in this too. So I've just got this together. We're just mixing it together. And once we get that good and combined, we're going to add in our dry ingredients and get that mixed just until it's combined. And then we're going to pour that into a greased loaf pan. Now you could also, make muffins out of these, or, sometimes we bake it in an 8x8 top pan too to get it to bake a little quicker, because it will take you a little while to bake this. It took about an hour and it bakes at 350 degrees. I also really liked this bread because the banana wasn't overwhelming in it. Sometimes I feel like some banana breads the banana can get just a little overwhelming, and I felt like this had a great kind of mixture of the banana and the pineapple. It only called for 2 bananas. That probably helped a little bit. Some I've seen have called for 3 or more, and that I think that does tend to make it a little bit more, that prominent banana flavor, which some people really like, but I kind of like it to be a little more milder. And my son always greases my pans for me, and he does such a great job. Everything always comes out. My youngest does, and so look how nice that turned out. I tried to show you the inside a little bit. You can't really pick up really good the pineapple, but this was so good. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure you check out Casey's video. I'll have it linked below in the description box. I know she's got something delicious for you as well. I hope you have a blessed day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.